Gonna do this now. Starting off, we got Thursday night. We got the Jets, the Browns. The Jets played pretty mediocre against Miami. Now Miami is actually a 2-0 team, so can't really take that away from them. They've been playing good football, but I think the Browns are just as tough. Their offense may not be as good as Miami's, but the Browns are playing at home, and I think they can rout the Jets if their offense plays good. So moving on to that, we're going to start the Sunday games. We got the Saints, the Falcons. The Saints just aren't playing good football. I mean, they're just not. Unless Drew Brees picks up, I got the Falcons in this one. Packers at Redskins. The Packers are going to murder the Redskins. Alex Smith can't seem to get past the 50-yard line. If he plays good, he plays great. But if he plays bad, he plays terrible. So yeah, I got Aaron Rodgers in the pack. They're gonna wallop the Redskins, in my opinion. Colts at the Eagles. Carson Wentz is coming back. Andrew Luck scores like 21 points a game. He's average. I got the Eagles, especially with Carson Wentz being back. Nah, the Colts are dead in the water, especially at Lincoln Financial Field. Then we got the Bills at the Vikings. The Vikings are at home. The Bills suck. The Bills are probably one of the worst teams in the league this year, if not the worst. Actually, they're not the worst. Arizona is the worst. They got the worst offense in the league. The Bills are, well, they're right behind them. I got the Vikings in this one. They're probably going to win this game about 38-7 or 38-10. They're going to murder the Bills. Raiders and Dolphins. I can't. I wanted the Raiders to win last week, and they blew it. And they blew the second half in the first game as well. I got the Dolphins in this one. They got a strong defense. They got a strong offense. I mean, Oakland's had Miami by the butt past couple of years, but this is a different Miami team. John Gruden makes some weird play calls like 3rd and 7, we're going to try a quick slant for 3 yards. Or I remember 3rd and 9, they gave it to Jalen Richard for a 3-yard gain. Just like, we tried that in Kansas City when Alex Smith couldn't throw the ball. No, sorry, 4 years ago when Alex Smith couldn't throw the ball. Not a single receiver scored a touchdown that year, or maybe it was 2014. I can't remember, but either way, I know how that works, and it doesn't work. The screen passes on 3rd and 10 don't work. So I got the Dolphins. I think they got better coaching, better players. That's the end of that. And it's at Miami. You can't go against them. Broncos at Ravens. This is a tough one. I'm just going to be honest. Man, who did Denver play in week 1? Seattle. Denver hasn't really played anybody. I mean, they're 2-0. It seems like every year they start off 4-0 and then they just fall off the face of the planet. I think they have some of their easier opponents in the first 4 weeks, and it's been that way up to this point. I got the Ravens. They're at home. They're going to be pissed off coming off that divisional loss to Cincinnati. They just got outscored, but the Ravens can definitely outscore the Broncos. I think the Ravens' defense is subpar to Denver's. I mean, they might be on the same level. Maybe Denver's is a little bit better, but you can't play one half of football against the Ravens. All right, so I'm taking the Ravens there. Bengals at Panthers. Yeah, I'm taking Bengals. And the Panthers are playing mediocre as hell right now. They scored 24 on Atlanta, but even Atlanta played mediocre against Philadelphia. I get it. It was ring ceremony night for the Eagles. Nick Foles scored 18 points and beat them. And then Carolina lets them drop 31. And Carolina's an elite defense. Bullshit. No, Carolina's just not a good team. If you watch Carolina, they have a good year, then they have a crap year. I mean, they go from 12-4 to like 6-10. And this is Carolina's crap year. They played Dallas like crap. They only won because of Cam Newton. Won because of the defense. I mean, Dallas can't do anything really anyways offensively. Bengals are scoring points. Their defense is doing just enough to win, kind of like ours is. Yeah, I got the Bengals. They're gonna go to Carolina and tear it up. Giants at Texans. Deshaun Watkins is still doing the heave it up and hope to God that Fuller or Hopkins is down there to basically bail him out of an interception. The New York Giants. Oh God, man, this is a total trash bag game. I mean, the Texans played decent against New England, but as I said before, New England always starts off slow, and the Texans got routed. By the Titans in a divisional game last week, and Blaine Gabbert was their starting quarterback. So, yeah, I got the Giants, man. Eli's got to come around and win a game. I got Eli. Titans at Jaguars. This is another divisional game. The Jaguars are hot right now, man. They're playing good football again. They were kind of skittish against the Giants, but Leonard Fournette's got to come back eventually. I got the Jags at home. I think they can handle the Titans with or without Mariota. Here you go. Here you go. Chiefs versus 49ers. It's our first home game. It's our home opener. The first home opener I won't be at in, 2 or 3 years now? Jimmy Garoppolo has nobody to block for him, and somehow he's pulling off 30 points a game. That was also against the Detroit defense. He played a good Minnesota team in week 1, and he played pretty solid. He really did, but they came up 7 or 8 points short. Mahomes is playing so hot, and he's been playing on the road. He's been doing this crap on the road. He threw 10 touchdown passes on the road. Drew Brees and Peyton Manning both had one home game at least in that stretch. And he threw for one more touchdown. Also being in a hostile Pittsburgh environment that we hadn't won in 32 years. Kermit's coming home, and he's playing the 49ers. 49ers defense is not going to stand up well to this offense. I wouldn't be surprised if we blew the 49ers out. I think we definitely should win this game. There's no reason why we shouldn't. I'm taking Kansas City. Now, we got a tough 6-game stretch coming up, so you might hear me go some other route, but that's just me being rational as a fan. You know, I'll always side with my team, obviously. I've never betted against them, but sometimes you just got to be rational. If we was playing Cincinnati, there's a good chance Cincinnati could win that ball game. So moving on. Chargers are playing the Rams. Now this is good for Kansas City fans because this could knock the Chargers down another notch. They're playing a tough opponent. I got the Rams in this one, man. They barely pulled it out against the Bills. The Bills are trash. The Rams they're playing outstanding right now. They played a dysfunctional Raiders team in week 1 who hung with them for a whole half, and then they played an absolute trashy Arizona team who is by far the worst in the league. And of course they blanked them 37-0, but I think the Chargers will put up a good fight, but the Rams got this one all the way. Cowboys at Seahawks. Wow, this is a tough one. I'm taking the boys. They're on the road, but the Seahawks are just trashy, man. They're so shitty. They're hard to watch. I got the Cowboys, man. They're gonna win this one in a close one. Bears at Cardinals. The Bears are barely doing enough to get by, but they're sure as hell better than the Cardinals. I don't know why they're still starting Sam Bradford. I don't know why they haven't started Rosen. It's beyond me. Sam Bradford is just as bad as he was the past 3 years. I got the Bears all the way. Patriots versus Lions. It's at Detroit. It doesn't matter. Tom Brady just lost to an AFC opponent. He's probably pissed off. And the Lions are going to get the blunt end of that one, period. And that's the Sunday night game. And then rounding it off with the Monday night game, we got the Steelers and the Buccaneers. The Steelers are 0-1-1 because they tied with the Browns in week 1. And the Buccaneers are 2-0. Okay. If Fitzpatrick plays like he did the past 2 games, the Buccaneers got this one hands down. I mean, they will outduel Big Ben. I don't care if they got Joe Hayden or Ryan Shazier. It doesn't matter. Ryan Fitzpatrick has been playing way too hot to get outdueled by Big Ben. The Steelers, they've got to be just absolutely irate. That locker room's got to be pissed. I remember 2 years ago we played the Steelers in week 3 on a Monday night, and they were coming off of a loss to Philadelphia, who wasn't that good that year. That was Carson Wentz's first year. Got their asses handed to them 33-3 at Pittsburgh. And then they played that Monday night game at Pittsburgh against us, and they came out and whooped our ass 43-14. So they've been known to play really hard when they've had some really tough losses. But this Pittsburgh team is so dysfunctional right now. I mean, you got the whole Le'Veon Bell crap going on, which doesn't really matter because Connor's running good. Gosh. There's just so many things wrong in Pittsburgh. The only thing good about them was their offense, but I think a lot of that had to do with our defense just not being coordinated. They got a lot of breaks against Kansas City, you know, the throwing above the line, the fumble that we forced, that's kind of what started it all. And they threw a flag, 30 seconds after we ran it into the end zone. Defensive holding. Come on, man. If you're going to call it on the spot. Don't call it later on. Like they're just sitting there waiting to see what's going to happen before they call something. And then, of course, the Jesse James catch in the end zone, never maintained possession. He had possession, and then on his way down, he lost the football. But, he broke the plane. You still got to maintain possession when you're being tackled. That was a fumble. You don't believe me? Ask the Patriots. So they're not playing in Pittsburgh, so I don't know how the refs are going to act. But if Ryan Fitzpatrick plays good, I'm taking the Bucs. I think they'll send the Steelers, to 0-2-1, and that's pretty much going to set up the AFC. If the Chargers lose, Patriots are going to win. There's no contest there. If the Steelers lose, that would help us out. If Denver loses, that would help us out, adding to our win. And the Raiders got a tough opponent. If they lose, does nothing but help Kansas City out, puts us a game above. And it puts us that far up in the AFC. So, those are my picks for week 3. We'll see how they turn out. I expect Tampa Bay and Pittsburgh to be a shootout again. I'm going to say there's probably 54 points scored in this game between the two of them. So that's where I'm going to end it off. Thank you guys for watching. You'll see me Sunday evening after the game.